How long have you been learning English for? 6 months, 1 year, 3 years. Now, here is the real question. If you have spent so much time learning, why do you still hesitate when it's time to speak? Think about that. Because this is not about intelligence, it's not about age, and it is definitely not about talent. If progress is not visible after consistent effort, then logically something in the method is not working. And today, instead of giving you motivation or tips, I want to break this down calmly. We are going to analyze what most learners think is helping them, what is actually slowing them down, and what needs to change structurally. By the end of this video, you should clearly see whether the problem is your confidence or your system. Hi everyone, this is Shanta and you are watching English with Shanta. I receive these kind of mails and comments often that I have been practicing for 2 years, 3 years. I am not fluent yet. In this video, I am discussing the real reason your English is not improving. Let's look at this calmly and logically. If you have been learning English for months, maybe years, and you still feel that your speaking is not improving, then instead of blaming yourself, your confidence, memory, or talent, we need to examine your method. Because language improvement is not random. If progress is not happening, there is always a reason. By the end of this video, you should clearly see the reason and where your system needs correction. Once you discover the reason, let me know in the comments. Let's start with something very common. Many learners feel they are learning a lot. They watch videos, they listen to podcasts, they read the captions, they follow a lot of English channels, and it feels productive. But here is the important difference. Listening builds understanding, but speaking builds ability. If most of your time goes into listening and watching, you will understand English better. But you may not speak better because speaking is a different skill. When you speak, your brain has to find the right words, arrange them into a sentence, say them clearly. That is active work, it's effort. But when you only listen, your brain is just receiving information. Studies on how we learn languages show something interesting. People usually improve understanding much faster than speaking. That's why almost everyone understands English but can't speak. So, if your daily routine is 80 or 90% input, your speaking skill will grow very slowly. So, ask yourself honestly, how much time do I actually spend speaking out loud? Not thinking in English, not understanding, speaking. If that number is low, that may be the real reason you feel stuck. Part 2 is the preparation trap. Let's talk about another pattern. Many learners say, I will start speaking when my grammar improves. I will speak when I know more words or vocabulary. I will speak when I feel confident. But confidence does not come before speaking. I've told this in my previous videos as well. Confidence comes after repeated speaking, not once or twice, repeated. If you avoid speaking because you are afraid of making mistakes, your brain slowly starts believing speaking English is risky, it's hard, and the more you avoid it, the bigger the fear becomes. At the same time, you just keep preparing more grammar, more vocabulary, more videos. But preparation without practice creates frustration. You feel like you know a lot, but when it's time to speak, you freeze. So ask yourself, am I preparing endlessly or am I practicing regularly? Preparation feels safe, but practice feels uncomfortable. Improvement always happens in the uncomfortable zone. If you're stuck in your comfort zone, you don't progress. Coming to the next part, that is inconsistency cycle. Let's examine consistency. Most learners do not fail because they are incapable. They fail because they work in cycles. The cycle usually looks like this: you feel motivated, you practice daily for 1 week, then one busy day happens, 2 days are missed, then you feel guilty, then you stop completely. Then after a month, you restart. This pattern is very common. But here is the problem: your brain builds speaking ability slowly through repetition, not through short bursts of motivation. 5 days of intense study cannot replace 2 months of steady practice. When you keep stopping and restarting, your brain keeps revising old material instead of moving forward. So you feel like I'm studying, but I'm not progressing. But actually, you are restarting too often. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Even 15 minutes a day is stronger than 2 hours once a week. Coming to the next part, that is measuring the wrong things. Let's talk about how learners measure progress. Many people think they are improving only when they speak fast, they reduce pauses, they sound like native speakers, or they start using advanced words. But fluency is not about speed. Fluency means you can express your thoughts clearly without panic. If you can explain your idea in simple English, that is progress, even if you speak slowly. Another mistake is comparison. You compare yourself to YouTubers or fluent speakers who have used English daily for years. That comparison is unfair. A better question is, can I express myself better than I could 3 months ago? If the answer is yes, then improvement is happening. It may not feel dramatic or overnight, but language growth is usually gradual. A child takes on an average at least 3 4 years to speak their native language, even after being surrounded with the language 24/7. You get that, right? Coming to the next reason, that is staying in your comfort zone. This is one of the hidden reasons. Many learners practice only what feels easy. They talk about the same topics, they use the same sentence structures, they avoid difficult grammar. This creates comfort, but comfort does not expand ability. If you always speak in simple present tense, your past and future narration that will stay weak. If you never share opinions, your ability to explain ideas will not grow. Improvement requires stretching, not in a stressful way, but in a deliberate way. Just like exercising, you have to gradually increase your workout or walking time. You cannot start slow and just be there because it feels comfortable. You must challenge yourself. Ask yourself, am I challenging myself slightly every week? If not, growth slows down. Coming to next reason, that is no feedback, no correction. This is very important. If you speak daily but nobody corrects you, mistakes slowly becomes habit. And once a habit becomes automatic, it is harder to change. You might feel fluent, but the same grammar errors may repeat for years. I have seen learners, no matter how much I correct them, they have the same pattern of making mistakes. You need correction. You can record yourself and listen carefully. Compare your sentences with correct examples. Ask a mentor or a friend for feedback. Notice patterns in your mistakes. Practice alone helps, no doubt, but practice with correction accelerates improvement. You have so many resources like Google or ChatGPT to verify your sentences. There is another option that you have. It's called Sparky. It's an AI with which you can practice your everyday conversations. It corrects your mistakes gently, gives you better ways of saying the same thing, translates into your native language so that you can understand it better. You can choose the accent and the speed with which you want Sparky to speak. It will give you number of words you have used and how you are progressing slowly. Link to download is in the description box. Watch this demo to understand the app better.
Introducing Sparky, your voice first AI friend for building spoken English fluency. Sparky is a friendly fox you can speak in English with even if you don't speak well. Sparky gently corrects you and also shares feedback on everything you say.
I did not got invited for my friend's birthday and I'm very sad. I didn't knew she did not want to be friends with me.
Oh no, I'm
Each conversation is designed to give you practice on specific language concepts or topics relevant to your life. Sparky keeps the conversation going so it never gets boring and helps and supports learners. If you're stuck for words, Sparky suggests what you could say. If you don't understand something Sparky said, you can easily see the meaning and even translate it to a language of your choice.
Coming to the next part, that is trying to improve everything at once. Many learners try to improve grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, accent, confidence, communication skills, public speaking all at the same time. This can overwhelm your brain. When you try to fix everything, you fix nothing deeply. Improvement becomes faster when you focus. Instead of saying, I want to be fluent, say, for the next 30 days, I will improve sentence clarity. Specific focus creates visible change. Just vague goals create frustration. So let's talk about what actually improves English. Let's summarize clearly. English improves when three things work together. What are they? Regular input, active speaking, or sometimes writing, consistent correction. If one of these is missing, progress slows down. If all three are balanced, improvement becomes steady. Not magical, but steady. And steady progress builds real confidence. Here is a simple correction plan. If you feel stuck, try this. First, increase your speaking time. At least 30 to 40% of your learning time, that should be active speaking. Second, stop restarting. Even short daily practice is powerful. Third, focus on one area at a time. Clarity first, then speed. Fourth, introduce feedback. Record yourself twice a week and review. I know recording and reviewing can be a daunting task, so twice a week is sufficient. Fifth, stretch slightly beyond comfort. Choose one new topic every week. Choose something that you're not familiar with. If you follow this for 2 months, you will notice change. Not because of motivation, but because of your structure. Finally, I would like to say most learners are stuck because their learning system has gaps, and gaps can be fixed. Instead of asking, why am I not fluent yet? Start asking, where is my method weak? What am I doing wrong? That shift changes everything. Because once the system improves, progress follows. If this helped you reflect honestly, tell me in the comments which part did you relate to the most and what is your problem, why you are not progressing. Because awareness is the first step towards improvement. Share to help others as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Good luck. Keep learning.